All right, gentlemen, take your seats. Let's get this over before lunch. Floyd Rose of the Homicide Squad has decided to take early retirement. We will all miss Floyd and the steely edge he brought to his police work. The department has arranged a wee drink at the Galway Arms to quench the mighty thirst a man gets from 25 years of police work. Floyd's departure leaves a place at the top table, and the chief has seen fit to promote Cole Phelps from burglary to the homicide desk. Stand up, Phelps. Take a chair. You're in the major leagues now, Sonny. Rusty Galloway, a fine lawman of the old school, will be taking you under his wing. Your first case is the murder of a woman, found last night and bearing all the signs of the werewolf. Get out to the scene, lads.
I'm thinking of moving up to a 45. I want to put him down to 1 round.
Do you have the address?
It's been all over KGPL. It's off Temple Street, between Belmont and Glendale.
Any central unit, car 16.
What happened to Rose?
Parker wants the chief's job. Word is it's either going to be him or Thad Green. So they're both clearing the decks.
So where does that leave you, Galloway?
Leaves me saddled with a chump like you, Phelps. I didn't ask for you and I don't want you, so keep it to yourself. See if you can learn something about seeing how a real cop operates.
What did he mean by the werewolf?
The Dahlia. The Daily News came out calling him the werewolf killer. The Examiner came up with the Black Dahlia.
We any closer to catching him?
Not a chance. 6 months and hundreds of guys running down leads and we got nothing.
You don't think this has anything to do with it?
No, I don't. 90% of murders are domestic, Phelps. Some guy gets into a beef with his wife, he takes it too far. This will be the same. But cutting someone in half and leaving them off the sidewalk, that's a one-off.
Why so many women this year?
Because of the war. You should know that. Guy gets to kill people every day in combat. Comes home, he's expected to take lip from his wife. What do you think's going to happen?
It's that simple.
Like I said, most of the time it is.
Crime scene is just up the dirt road, Detective.
How about a scoop for the Examiner, Galloway? You could use some good press.
Another tramp, another message. Is the werewolf back in business, boys?
Do you have a mother, asshole? A sister? How about showing some respect for this poor woman? Let us do our job, and Detective Galloway will give you a statement later.
He's good, Rusty. He even sounds genuine.
That's Phelps, guys. The war hero. Defending the honor of murdered humps.
Get used to it, Phelps. Moving along, guys. You got your pictures, you got your headlines. Now scram.
Patrolman, this your beat?
Yes, sir. Well, part of it. Kids park here, they use it like a lover's lane. It's a working neighborhood. Some trouble, but nothing like this. It's known locally as the Moors.
You were first on the scene?
Yes, Detective.
No one's disturbed the body?
No, sir. We cleared out them vulture reporters so Pinker and the coroner could work. They're waiting to talk to you.
Go house to house and see what you come up with. Carruthers.
Phelps, you make homicide?
Looks like it. Galloway has been making me feel welcome.
I bet he has.
Has the scene been secured?
Patrolman Houlihan saw to it. The victim's personal effects are still where they fell.
Looks like some kind of puzzle or parlor game. The victim's bag? Looks brand new. Can't be the one used on the body. Cause of death?
It could be the head injuries. She has been badly stalked. The cuts look superficial. I'll know for sure in an hour.
What about this wound on the finger?
Something removed. A ring, most likely. I assume it was taken post-mortem.
What caused the blunt force injury to the face?
Could be anything from a baseball bat to a lug wrench. I'll have more details after the autopsy.
Interesting. What does the writing on the victim mean?
BD, like Dahlia, Tex. Your guess is as good as mine. Could be something to it, or it could be the killer's trying to throw you off the scent. Either way, I'll run tests on the lipstick.
Any idea of the time of death?
From the temperature, I'd say after midnight. I'll confirm with you later.
What can you tell me about the shoe prints?
Men's size 8s. Pinker lifted impressions for me to compare back at the lab.
The Bomba Club. Why steal a table lighter?
Can we get to the Bomba? A man could die of thirst on a case like this.
Can you drive to this one?
And where exactly are we going?
76th Street, 56 at this time.
The werewolf?
For my money, a copycat.
We can't rule it out. We need to work the evidence.
You'd love that, wouldn't you? A big head to hang on your wall. The caller of the decade. You've been working evidence on BD case for 6 months and got nicks.
There's a difference, Rusty.
Oh, yeah?
I just started working it today.
Okay, Oddshot. What's more likely? The werewolf comes back around, leaving us a note on a corpse?
He clearly has a thing for power. Power over women. Why not power over the police department as well?
Let me finish, Phelps. A guy opens his mouth again after 6 months of stum. Or some opportunist who's been reading about the BD figures he'll rip off the MO and get himself a freebie.
That's not totally fantastical.
You know, the Examiner and the Daily News might be good at coming up with monikers, but they're terrible for police work. There's a reason we didn't get the son of a bitch after the short murder. It was them, locusts.
Where do you think the werewolf killer is now?
Dead by his own hand, stationed somewhere else with the armed forces. San Quentin, another town, another country, who knows? So, Phelps, I understand you want to turn this into a big case, but it doesn't work like that, all right? A case will come and find you. Can't make it something it ain't. Understand?
So you don't think the werewolf has continued to operate in the Los Angeles area?
No chance. We would have found him.
Gentlemen, what can I get you?
Phelps and Galloway, LAPD. Were you working here last night?
Yes. How can I help, officer?
You can start with your name.
Garrett Mason.
You're the regular bartender on nights?
I'm a temporary barman. I work for an agency. I fill in at bars across town.
Do you remember a woman who came in here last night? 5'7", about 110 pounds, blonde hair, about 40 years of age.
You mean Celine Henry?
Yes. Do you know anything about her?
I don't. But the owner, Mr. McCall, serves her most nights. Would you like to speak to him?
I would.
He sits at the back of the club. Wears a hibiscus. You can't miss him. Is there anything else?
Fire away, Phelps. I'll stay here. I'm a little parched. Pour me 3 fingers of rye.
A waitress. Can I have another spoon?
Detective Phelps, LAPD. We're investigating the murder of Celine Henry. Do you know her?
Celine? Christ. Sure I know her. She and I and Jacob, her husband, we go way back.
She was here last night?
Sure, she's a regular. Celine is...
That's the spirit.
Was
Tell me another.
a lovely woman.
Was Mrs. Henry here with anyone last night?
Not at first. Celine already had quite a head start.
But she attracted attention?
Certainly. A few gentlemen became very enamored with her and her stories. One guy in particular.
How about a name? This is a murder beef, McCall. You don't want any adverse publicity for this place, do you?
If I had names, I would give them to you. I like Celine. I'd like to see you get whoever did this. Clear on that?
Mrs. Henry appeared to be missing a ring, torn from her finger, but not her wedding finger.
Celine always wore a red garnet ring on the large side. Larger than life, like Celine herself.
Did she have it a long time?
Sure. Since way back in her flying days.
Did her husband buy it for her?
No, it was before Jacob.
I think you know where the ring came from, and I think you're going to tell me.
Okay. I bought it years ago. I carried a torch for Celine in those days. Guess I always have. Her old man never knew about it.
You know the husband?
Sure I know Jacob. He was in the Corps. He met Celine on a furlough and married her when the war was finished. He put up with a load of shit.
Do you think he killed his wife?
No. No, not in my opinion.
Was he ever violent with her?
Celine came in here last night looking like she'd taken a slap. They don't live together anymore, so it might not have been him.
McCall, you said you liked her, and yet you've been no help at all. I want Celine's address.
142 North Union. Now get the hell out of my bar.
My eggs were running.
Let's get out of here.
Hey, what's the hurry? My stool was just starting to warm up nicely.
You're behind the wheel.
Fine. Where are we headed?
You find the booze helps you get through a working day?
Sharpens my investigatory instincts, Phelps.
A smart lawyer might use that to throw out anything you collect today.
A smart man might know it's unwise to stand between the patient and his medicine.
As long as you're not falling over, Rusty, I'll let it slide.
That's mighty kind of you, Phelps. You know, you picked the wrong job if a healthy thirst offends you, Cole.
We owe it to this city to do the best we can in this position. As homicide detectives, that responsibility is all the more serious.
Always the politician.
It's not political, it's practical. Maybe the men combing Hollywood Boulevard after the Elizabeth Short murder were more interested in sniffing out booze than the clues that would have led to her killer.
Yeah, well, if only you'd been there, choir boy. Betty Short would be alive, the Japs would have spared Pearl Harbor, our ancestors wouldn't have tasted the forbidden fruit.
Minor syntactical error, Detective Galloway. I never claimed to be able to prevent crimes. I only suggested a proficiency in solving them. Guess that's the drink slowing you down.
Oh my God, brother, oh brother. It's worse than I could ever have imagined. I'll try the back door. Wait here a second. Side window's been jimmied. Looks like somebody's creeped the joint.
You said I had to go back, Doctor.
The fires are cathartic. They allow you to confront your past.
You said the house would be empty.
Are you taking the medication I have prescribed?
You said the house would be empty. I heard them screaming.
Circumstances were unfortunate. My colleagues had made all the necessary arrangements.
You said the house would be empty. You're killing me.
The deaths were unfortunate, but you have dealt with death before. I want you to come to the clinic and we can deal
with it. You said the house would be empty. How can I find peace?
Maybe if... No. Size 9s. Above average for a lady.
Burglar used a pry bar. Why did you kick the door in?
You think I'm gonna climb through a broken window in a $30 suit? You got another thing coming, Buster.
Celine and Jacob are obviously having problems. It speaks to motive.
Crime scene evidence still weighs against it being the husband, but Jacob could give us something to go on. If one of my exes drank like this, you'd be feeling the back of my hand.
Call in burglary and get technical services out here. I'll talk to the neighbors.
Don't take all day about it, Phelps. I'll get nasty when I'm thirsty. Galloway, homicide, badge number 564. Requesting technical services for a suspected 459 at 142 North Union.
LAPD. Are you acquainted with Celine Henry, Miss?
Horgan. Jennifer Horgan. I've known Celine for more than 10 years. Our children grew up together. What's going on, officer?
Did you see Mrs. Henry go out last night?
Well, I'm no busybody, you understand, but Celine had been drinking. And she and poor, long-suffering Jacob had a terrible row. I think Jacob may have given her a black eye. He stormed out and she went back inside.
Did he come back?
No. Celine was listening to music and shouting until she left around 10 p.m. She was very drunk to have been driving. But she is not the sort of person you can stop from doing something when her dander is up. What is this about, officer? Is Celine all right?
I'm afraid Mrs. Henry has been murdered, ma'am.
Murdered? Oh, my God. I'm afraid I need to go and sit down.
Let's see what Jacob has to say for himself.
I don't think Jacob is our man, but we should see what he has to say.
You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Jacob Henry had a violent argument with his wife last night. He's looking more and more likely.
For my money, if the broad keeps the house looking like that, she'll probably deserve it. The skipper says bring him in. We'll keep the hacks off our backs for a while.
Fine by me.
So it ain't the werewolf killer after all. Good to see you've come to your senses, Cole.
I always said work the evidence. I only stipulated a connection to the BD killer as an avenue of investigation we should leave open. And as far as I'm concerned, it still is.
Okay, Phelps, we go in hard. You follow my lead. You Jacob Henry?
Yeah. Who's asking?
LAPD. You're under arrest for the murder of your wife, Celine Henry.
Murder? Celine?
Save the dramatics
Oh,
for
my God.
RKO, pal. You got bigger problems.
What the hell are you talking about? You come in here, you tell me that Celine is
Take a seat, Mr. Henry.
She's...
We're going to have a look around, then we'll talk.
Jesus, I'm sorry.
I get even the slightest hint that you're a flight risk, pal. You think the atmosphere's thick in here? Wait till you try the gas chamber. He'll be back any moment. Just sit tight.
The oldest problem there is, what to do about the old lady.
Size 11s.
Incidental. I don't think so.
So who could have killed Celine? Where did she go last night, Jacob?
A bar, I suppose. Look, I don't know.
We get the impression that Celine liked to live the glamorous life. How did she end up with a hump like you, Jacob?
Celine was one of the first woman pilots. She hung out with movie stars and royalty. But when she came back here broke and struggling, she married a mechanic. Put a roof over her head, food on the table. Not glamorous, but the best I could do. I'm not ashamed about that.
When did you last see your wife, Mr. Henry?
Last night. I went to see her. We talked. Things got a little out of hand. I left.
You don't remember what time you last saw your wife alive?
Look, I'm sorry. I left. Maybe 9 p.m. Might have been a little later, but right around 9.
Why did you kill her, Jacob? Things will go better if you come clean about it.
That's a lousy thing to say. I never gave up on my wife.
You went to her house, you fought, you beat her, she left, and then you followed her.
I left first. She tried to batter me with a frying pan. I had to slap her down.
Understandable.
So you can prove that you came back here after you left your wife's place?
I came back here. I was here all night. Start work at 6:30. I'm not the going out type.
So you were here, tucked up in bed, while someone was out there beating your wife's brains out. That's all you've got?
Talk to the bartender at the Bomba Club. He'll tell you he called here last night, and I answered the phone.
We're still going to need you to come downtown, Mr. Henry.
We can get this all down on paper, Jacob. How you got fed up with your wife and how you figured killing her would bury all your troubles.
Kill my own wife?
She was a lush and a tramp, and you just couldn't stand it anymore.
Shut your goddamn mouth.
So now you're going to tell me you loved her? Ah, the DA goes all gooey over remorse, Jacob.
Okay. Let's just leave it at that. What's this bunkin'?
You're not.
Call it in and get a squad car dispatched. And check for messages. I'll keep old Slugger here company.
Operator, give me R&I.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need a patrol unit to transport a suspect back to Central.
Certainly, Detective.
Any messages for me?
Yes, Detective. In regards to the Celine Henry homicide, the owner of the Turkey Bowl restaurant at 1535 West 3rd Street says the victim was at his restaurant last night.
Turkey Bowl Restaurant. We'll check it out.
You have a message from the coroner. Do you wish to be put through?
Yes, ma'am.
Carruthers,
It's Phelps.
I've completed the autopsy. Several wounds to the head from a blunt metal instrument. Closest match would be a socket wrench handle.
So the cause of death was the blunt...
No, the blows to the head surprisingly were not fatal. Death was from hemorrhage and shock from the fractured ribs and multiple injuries caused by the stomping.
Anything else?
He's some kind of sex fiend. The tissues of the anus were bruised about 1/8 of an inch, but no trace of semen in the anus, vagina, or stomach.
Thanks, Doc. You drive. I need to go over the case notes.
Fine. Where are we headed?
Carruthers said she took a real pounding.
Maybe if he had been a little firmer in the beginning, he wouldn't be in this situation now.
I imagine that Neanderthal routine is a big hit with the ladies, Galloway.
Women love me, Phelps. I have no complexity. They know exactly what they're going to get.
LAPD, Phelps and Galloway. We're working a murder case. Mrs. Celine Henry, you called in?
Yeah, the name's Jonesco. This is my place.
You saw Mrs. Henry in here last night?
Until about 1 a.m., having dinner with a friend.
Doing more drinking than eating.
You got that straight.
Mrs. Henry was seen leaving another establishment in the company of a man. Did the two of them come here?
Yeah, I remember seeing her with a guy.
Did you see them leave?
They got into his old Pontiac. Dull brown color. I got a look at the license plate. 2B8899.
You have a name? Description, maybe? Come on, Mr. Nesco. We need something more to go on.
Smallish guy. Maybe 5'7". Dark complexion. Latin looking.
What time did the two of them leave?
Around 2 a.m. They were talking pretty loud. She had a black eye. Said her husband gave it to her. Said she was going to have him committed.
Was she a regular in here?
No. I mean, I wouldn't have recognized her face among the usual crowd.
Would you be able to identify the man she was with?
Maybe. I wasn't watching him too close.
We'll be in touch, Mr. Nesco. Thanks for your time.
That cherry pie was deep.
Where the hell's he going with that?
Look, Pops, just hand over the money, okay?
All right, young fellow, okay. Hold your horses. I'm getting the money.
I ain't afraid to drill you, you know.
Hey, careful with that trigger finger now. You look the nervous type.
Plug the old bastard, Lefty. If I gotta come in there, I'm spraying lead, you old coot.
LAPD, drop the weapon!
Where the hell's he going with that?
Look, Pops, just hand over the money, okay?
All right, young fellow, okay. Hold your horses. I'm getting the money.
I ain't afraid to drill you, you know.
Hey, careful with that trigger finger now. You look the nervous type.
Plug the old bastard, Lefty. If I gotta come in there, I'm spraying lead, you old coot.
LAPD, drop the weapon!
I told you to watch it. You should check in with R&I. Put an APB out on that plate.
Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help,
Hey, look about him.
I need a registered owner on a license plate, 2boy8899.
Yes, Detective. The plate belongs to a brown 1936 Pontiac. Registered owner is one Alonzo Mendez of 402 South Fremont Street, apartment 16.
Thanks. Any other messages?
One, Detective. From Captain Donnelly. He wants any and all suspects returned to Central. Interviews to be set up immediately.
Got it. We're coming in. Thanks for your help. You know the way. You can drive.
And where exactly are we going?
Mendez could be our man.
He could be at that, but you don't want to cross the skipper, Phelps. Not a great move in your first day. He wants Henry re-interviewed.
How'd you like losing your cherry, rookie?
It might be my first day here, but I've had extensive experience on other desks in the department. I think you're aware of that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you've been a pain in the ass before today as well.
And I shall continue to be until the end of time.
Mendez, apartment 16. Here, the apartment's up on the top floor.
Don't bother knocking, just kick the door in. Take a look around and see what you can find.
Carruthers could match the color and brand of the body. Consistent with Celine's injuries, and the blood can be typed.
We have the murder weapon. We better get Pinker down here.
Why keep it? Why not throw it away?
Think these clowns are geniuses? Thank your stars you caught a break, and Captain Donald will begin to like you.
Hey! What gives? LAPD, you're under arrest.
Do not lose that son of a bitch! I'll go get our wheels.
Mendez, stop right there! You don't need to do this, Alonzo!
Get in and drive. Hit him! Clean this asshole off the road! I got an idea. Get him next to my window, Cole. Keep me alongside his vehicle and I'll stop the son of a bitch. Don't go to sleep on me. Get me back in close. Hit him, Cole. Spit him out.
You're under arrest for the murder of Celine Henry.
I ain't saying a goddamn thing.
You did a grand job, lads. Phelps, that's quite a way to acquit yourself in your first outing as a homicide investigator. It seems the city has a new and vengeful guardian. Considering the evidence against your suspect and the thoroughness with which a report was compiled, I foresee a safe passage through the courts, and the DA agrees with me. Brutality on a scale such as this deserves retribution. The people and the press of this city demand it.